Hey folks, Malasar here with another Swedish Comp list discussion. So this is in preparation for the Colonial GT one-day tournament prep that's happening Saturday, January 3rd. I am right now the first person on the waiting list because I didn't sign up. Last time I took up a spot when I got called into work and I wanted to make sure I absolutely had the day off this time before actually registering. So I waited till I had confirmation and I just missed out. But real life happens. It's right after the holidays, so I'm gonna assume that at least one person's gonna drop. If not, oh well. I'll at least I'll probably head up anyway just to hang out, spend the day with the guys from Foul, um, and just kick around for a while. But here's my list that I'm prepping for anyway. To get it started, that I've been playing with a lot of this avoidance high elf stuff recently on Universal Battle and in the store during this escalation rate league that Lord Kernian and I are running. Not running, we're participating in. And it's been really fun. But without being able to take a Lethanar, the list really suffers. Lethanar is just so good with a mobile strength 7 bolt thrower doing D3 wound swift stride, -1 to hit, and he has a 4 board save to boot. So without him, the list just kind of falls apart. So I've moved back to more of a classic high elf approach. It's pretty toned down with the units I'm taking, and the Reaver Bow Prince is still in the list, um, which should keep it interesting. I'm actually feeling pretty good about the list. It's comped really low for what I think is in here. So let's get started. So, like I said in the first screen, these comp for this tournament is Swedish Comp, 8 to 14. Each tenth of a decimal difference is worth 10 victory points. Pretty common. This is actually the Masters Comp pack that's happening 2 weeks after the Colonial GT, and the Colonial is a prep for the Masters and also the first tournament in the Mid Atlantic Masters circuit. And this one-day event is in preparation for Colonial. So not much has changed here. I'm expecting that Swedish comp is going to be pretty prevalent throughout the U.S. meta this tournament season in 2015, because it seems that Masters is kind of glummed onto it and is sticking with the that compact. So a lot of people just want to keep rolling with Swedish, which I'm fine with. I actually really enjoy Swedish comp. You get to see a lot of different unique things that you don't normally see in armies to help keep that comp score lower. I know that I've seen a lot of army lists, especially from the Foul guys, who are pushing down towards the lower part of the Swedish comp band. A lot of armies I've seen are 8.5, 9.5s, most of them being under 10, which I think gives my list a pretty big advantage. Um, since I'm at a 12 right now, so if somebody's at a 9, I start 300 victory points up, and I don't have a lot of free points to give out. Um, so that should work really well in my favor. I said that last time with the Anointed on the Phoenix list, but I actually ran into mostly 15 comp armies, so the Swedish comp didn't even make a difference. Um, in late rounds, I know that you're supposed to be seeded the first round that way. So let's move on to the actual list. So for my lords, I'm taking that Reaverbow Prince that's I've been using for the past couple weeks. Just to review, he is my general. He's 249 points with the Reaverbow, Potion of Strength, Shadow Armor, MR2, additional hand weapon, and a White Lion Cloak. Um, there's not much else to say that I haven't said before, but I think even in a combat focus list, which this army is kind of pushing towards, he's still a really good choice. 3 strength 5 shots can't be overlooked. They're very effective at clearing chaff, and I've actually been surprised with my Shadow Warriors recently. 9 shots at Ballistic Skill 5 and hitting sitting around that long range mark is still pretty solid, especially they're just extra wounds when I'm chasing chaff. And yeah, the shots kind of get wasted if I'm pumping them into a steam tank or something, but I'd rather just keep the bunker alive. Um, Another theme in this list is magic resistance, is to keep everybody with at least of all my main important stuff, at least with the 5 ward save against magic, because my lore master, popping down, just taking the Book of Hoeth and the Talisman of Preservation. I decided I wanted to eat the comp points, take the book. I've taken a lot of other softer choices, which help makes up the difference. But with the Book of Hoeth, he dispels like a level 4 statistically. And I've got a really good shot at 6 dicing a dispel attempt and re-rolling to irresistibly dispel um, the really nasty spells, which you don't see a lot of because this is Swedish Comp. I know that there's an Empire list Jake DiBattista is running. It's like an 8.7, but it's got the whole double banishment shenanigans by Empire. Um, that's the only list I'm really worried about right now that I've seen. Also, Eric Lodell running, or Gurn, sorry, Gurn, running the Salon Lore Master. Would be pretty hard to stop, but I've got a much higher threat arc than a normal level 4 with my Lore Master in a book. Um, Now, that's why I'm also pushing for the magic resistance, is because I couldn't find a way to get a Dispel Scroll on the list without compromising something else that I felt was more important. Um, that's why I've been pushing the magic resistance, because everything needs at least a 5 aboard save to give me a shot at surviving some of the nastier magic missiles or anything like that. So for my heroes, I'm taking two nobles. The first one being my battle standard. He has the Starlance Enchanted Shield, Potion of Foolhardiness, Golden Crown, Dragon Armor, and the Barbed Elven Steed. I originally considered making him an MR3 toting um, battle standard, but on second thought, since I'm paying the comp points for the Book of Hoeth, and the absolutely terrifying spells magic resistance doesn't really help me against, I went ahead and skipped it. The 1-up armor save has to stay, thus the enchanted shield. And then I thought, well, the Starlance is really freaking good, and it's not even comped under Swede, so I should find a way to put it in the list. Um, Giving him that Starlance and then the other noble just to put him on pause for a second with heavy armor shield, dragon helm, bard elven steed, and the ogre blade makes it actually a pretty good close combat unit. This is my anti-armor unit. There's a lot of demigryphs, a lot of skull crushers, chaos warriors. This is their target. They're gonna go in and smack some face around. The noble having four for one charge, he gets four. Strength 7, no armor save attacks is pretty good. Um, and I'm actually pretty happy with their loadout. Um, I'm gonna put them on pause, I guess, for a second because I'll talk about them once again when I get down to my special selection. But they're hitty, and they're meant to grind, and I think that was something that was missing in that avoidance list that I was running, is I didn't have any kind of grinding or staying power. Maybe I tipped it too far the other way, but it is a balance, and I'm walking a fine line here. So here's my core choice selection. It's not too changed from what I'm normally running, but the 6 silver helms, shields, banner, champion, 6 silver helms, shields, banner, champion. I included 12 archers with full command, and then 2 units of 5 reavers naked. So it's not. I feel like my core's a little clunky. I was tweaking some things, trying to get the comp score down on them. When I was running the 3 units of 6 silver helms, the 2 units of reavers fully loaded, they were a whopping minus 34 comp points without any shooting, without including the shooting penalty. This is 29 comp points, and I'm only 3 shots over, so I guess that's 32 when you consider it all, which is still a lot. But it me trying to trim comp points there to get a high as the comp score as I could, um, kind of detracted from my core selection. Now I added the champions to the silver helms because a charge with the silver helms and a challenge on a solo character gives me a +2 before any wounds are done with the banner and a charge. And then with their positioning, it's usually pretty easy to get a flank charge on a flying character that's out there solo. I'm not really worried about silver helms. Um, so you think about that. I'm at a +3, so they'd have to do 4 wounds just to break me. I'm actually feeling pretty good about that. And an overkill with this 2-up armor save. Now of course it's you never know. It's actually funny as I was playing a game against Warriors of Chaos, and I did this where I charged a Chaos Lord flying on a disc in the flank, um, challenged, and then his demonic mount with his two, because the Chaos Lord had like the great weapon, so he had 5 strength 7 attacks or whatever it is. But his demonic mount with 2 strength 4 attacks killed the champion. So I was up by 2, and he was just out of BSB range, which meant he was testing on a leadership 7, and he failed, and I ran him down. Now that's not usually going to happen, but it does kind of show that you can't mess around with the silver helms. It's also an extra attack, so I've now got 7 attacks on the charge to help me clear warriors of chaos chariots. Even orcs and goblin when they run the pump wagon spam and wolf chariots just as chaff. The silver helms do pretty good at clearing those now with the champion. The archers are the archers. Like I said, I was just trying to trim those silver helm comp dump points that I had. Um, but 12 archers, 30 inches is going to help me clear chaff, and they act as decent enough chaff in a pinch next to the Phoenix Guard. Um, I the command group was concession just because again you know I'm trying to stay at a 12. Um, the champion is the champion. Again, get charged by a flying character, challenge. I'll be steadfast for a round to either get my Phoenix Guard, Dragon Princes, or something in there to help them out. So that's why I have the champion there. And then the standard musician is, Blood and Glory's played, and also Fortitude. So having extra Fortitude never hurts. And then they are 12 shots at Ballistic Skill 4. They do a wound or two to a War Machine on average a turn, and that's not terrible. Especially with Shadow Warriors kicking around that can pump in extra shots to help clear War Machines. Um, so they're not a bad choice. Then I have 2 units of Reavers as chaff and War Machine Hunters, but they're chaff. I really want bows on them, but I'm not paying 5 comp points for 10, shots with 24-inch range. Um, which again, I actually like bows on them just because it gives them something to do. And it's I always laugh when my Reavers. I have 1 unit of Reavers who always seem to pick the last wound off of a Greater Demon or something stupid like that. So I kind of miss having bows on them. But again, it's a comp concession at this point. So if you remember my last Swedish comp list, my special unit just I didn't have any choices in there in the avoidance except for Shadow Warriors, and then at Grail Quest I had the Phoenix Guard. So I'm actually spending points in special now, which is kind of going by the wayside with how these end times things are rolling out with all the character points. But I like my special. I think Phoenix Guard are still the best unit in the game. I'm not taking a High Mage, which I think is holding them back. But again, I just couldn't find where to get those points from, especially in comp. And then I thought the extra noble in this type of list would be better than the high mage. Because usually, just the way things work out is when my Phoenix Guard join a really nasty combat that they need that 3-up ward save in, I'm going to roll low winds of magic and my opponent's going to be able to dispel it. Um, so it's nothing to be counted on, although it's usually a pretty good idea that it's going to happen. But they're there. I've got 20 of them. I originally planned for 19, but I had like some odd number of points left, so I added 20. Um, they're full command, Razor standard. They're such a good unit. The Lore Master's going to run with them. Miscast protection. He can also run with the archers in certain games, um, but him adding 3 strength 6 attacks helps them with their strength problem. And then the Lore Master's is a good complement with all the Wizzens on Phoenix Guard. Just game over. Just don't even worry about it. I then took 9 Shadow Warriors as a bunker for my Prince. I love them. I think they're a pretty undervalued unit, um, especially with 9 ballistic skill 5 shots at 30-inch range. They're solid. They'll do what I need them to do. And then I have 8 Dragon Princes of Calidor with the Standard Musician and the Banner of MR1. Now, originally I was taking 8 full command with the Banner of Eternal Flame, but I was like, well, if they're going to be a frontline combat unit, they really Banner of Eternal Flame's doing more harm than good if I run it. Chaos Dwarfs, anything with flaming resistance. And I was like, well, the concession is my characters can clear them with their magic weapons since they don't receive flaming. But I just think it does more harm than good. The flaming banner, especially with the lore master, regen's not as much of an issue. And then I gave them so I gave them the banner of MR1 to give the entire unit a 5-up ward save against magic, which is good. If you think a strength 7 banishment, it's gonna give me a 6-up armor save, and then a 5-up ward save re-rolled. But banishment just sucks. But it's at least there. It's trying to be there. I dropped the champion because I wanted my opponent to have to do a full 4 wounds to me. Wow, that was a really strong Maryland accent. But four wounds to me, in order to start sniping my characters. That's why I dropped the champion. I don't think he adds anything here. And my rare choices, so exciting. I mean, it's three bolt throwers. They're three bolt throwers. What else do you want me to say? They're solid. You know, they create negative zones. They do board control, clear chaff. They threaten monsters. Um, in the last game that Gaddy and I played, or Kurdian and I played, whatever he's calling himself now, in our little 1,000 point escalation league, I had a bolt thrower uh, on its own drop his skull cannon in 2 turns. Just hit, wound, failed ward save, did 2 wounds. Hit, wound, failed ward save, did 2 wounds. So that was pretty awesome. Um, I love them. They need to just stay there. Finally, here's the totals. Like I said, I have 6 points left over, which gives me kind of a weird amount. Um, so if I drop that Phoenix card, I guess back down to 19, I have 21 points to spend. Not really sure what I'd spend the points on. My characters are capped out on magic items. Oh, I guess with 6 points, I can give my noble dragon armor. So that's a good idea, right? Give him dragon armor, give him 6 up ward save, and then with the banner of MR1, 5 up. Yeah, that's not bad. So that's probably what I'll do with those 6 points. Or if you have another suggestion, just drop me a comment. And I'm also a Swedish Comp 12, which I think is going to be pretty effective here. It's kind of right in the middle of the pack with the super hard armies being down towards an 8, which gives me a super nice advantage in victory point spreads. And then I'm only going to be a 200 point deficit if I play a 14, which is pretty overcomable with my style of list. Now, to kind of recap the list, I've got the Lore Master with the book, and a unit of Phoenix Guard or archers. The Phoenix Guard are my frontline troops that can grind really well with a 4 board save. And then I've got the Cav Bus with 2 nobles and 8 Dragon Princes. This is my armor hunters, my flankers. They're just kind of there to be a problem. And then my Reaverbow Prince with Shadow Warriors, supported by 12 archers and 3 bolt throwers for shooting, chaff removal, and whatever else I need them to do. And then I have 2 units of Reavers as my redirectors. The Reavers, only having 2 redirectors kind of sucks. But again, I'm not playing Avoidance this time, and I actually kind of want to be in combat. I think Warriors of Chaos are still going to give me some troubles. The Lore Master helps with having a lot more spells just to threaten Warriors of Chaos with. Um, but if I face something like Roger Jan's list from Grail Quest, where it was just all rush all the time, I might actually struggle. Um, though the Dragon Princess gives me some help there. Um, and the Prince too, just 1 round at Strength 8 shooting. Um, Please roll a 2, Mr. Unkillable BSP, or something like that, or just popping chariots. So I think the list is better than my Grail Quest list. I think it's kind of deceiving at a 12. Um, I think it's much better than a 12, and I hope that some games prove that. Now, I've got a game tonight. Today is Wednesday, the 3rd of December. I've got a game tonight against a good friend from California on Universal Battle. I hope to have a report up soon. And then Gaddy and I are playing tomorrow afternoon for the Escalation League. And then we're going to do a full Swedish Comp game. So stay tuned. I should have 2 battle reports up shortly. Let me know what you think about the video. I've been doing list previews during battle reports, and I got a comment that I should just do separate video for that. So here it is. Uh, just let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. If you actually watched through this whole thing, if not, no worries. And hope to get a game with you guys soon.